Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Furkan Dandia and I'm a therapist. And today I will be talking about a topic that is getting enough attention, but I don't think it's fully appreciated. And that's if porn is actually ruining your life. Now, porn, unfortunately, is not just a moral issue, it's become a bigger issue where it's setting out to destroy people's ability to love. And millions of men are quietly doing it every day. And unfortunately, it's a habit that often feels harmless. It's also a neurological event. It rewires your reward system, fractures intimacy, and slowly erodes your inner life. So, as most of us can appreciate, real intimacy requires vulnerability, uncertainty, and emotional presence. Porn, unfortunately, removes all of that and replaces it with control, endless novelty, zero relational risk. And over time, the brain starts to associate arousal with screens, not humans, which damages our ability to connect with others. So, this is why often porn is linked to emotional withdrawal, decreased partner attraction, and then porn induced erectile dysfunction, especially in young men, which is becoming a bigger issue as well. So it's not only that you lose desire, you also lose the brain's capacity to attach. Deep in your brain, especially the mesolimbic reward pathway, it runs from the VTA, the ventral tegmental area, to the nucleus accumbens. This circuit has evolved to reinforce survival behaviors such as bonding, achievement, meaningful pursuit. So nowadays, a lot of people talk about dopamine release. That's the purpose of dopamine release in that reward circuit. So when you do something worthwhile, dopamine is released from the VTA into the nucleus accumbens, creating motivation and drive. But unfortunately, porn overstimulates that system. Every new image creates a reward prediction error. Your brain says, this is better than expected. So dopamine surges again and again. So then what happens over time? This is what one thing that people don't fully appreciate. Your brain then starts to protect itself from overloading the dopamine by reducing dopamine receptor sensitivity. So the receptors that where dopamine binds onto, their sensitivity is reduced, especially the D2 receptors, which are located in the nucleus accumbens. This is called downregulation. So that means real life starts to feel dull, motivation disappears, relationships feel flat, you feel numb unless you escalate novelty. So that's where people start seeking novelty inducing behaviors. It's not that it's from a lack of discipline, it's unfortunately damaging the reward system. So porn doesn't give us pleasure, it steals our ability to feel it anywhere else. So, what happens when you start feeling empty, especially when you stop? When you try to quit, the brain doesn't reward you by saying, good job. It says, where's my dopamine? So, people will start feeling anxiety, loneliness, irritability, restlessness, not because you need porn, but because your reward circuit forgot how to function naturally. So then people will start experiencing withdrawals, and that's when they end up relapsing or seeking out other behaviors that will give that same sense of pleasure. So it doesn't just stick with the brain. This is why I would be remiss if I didn't mention the spiritual cost associated with porn. Porn reshapes the soul because it trains the eyes to objectify, the heart to consume, and the mind to escape. Every sacred tradition teaches what you repeatedly gaze upon shapes who you become. Porn just doesn't rewire our brain, it fractures reverence for intimacy, for women, and for ourselves. The cost at the end of the day is we become more disconnected with ourselves. So the good news here is that the brain can heal. Neuroplasticity works both ways. So our VTA to nucleus accumbens pathway can be restored, but only when we replace it, that novelty with presence, meaning, struggle that leads somewhere real. So really applying ourselves where we are able to derive meaning from that application. Porn didn't ruin us, but it will if we don't choose to reclaim our mind, our heart, and our spirit. We're not broken, but our brain is waiting for something real again. And if you're really struggling, I would encourage you to seek out help or talk to someone where you can open up, because a lot of the times shame comes in and keeps us from opening up and seeking help, especially with something like porn that can happen in isolation. So I hope this was helpful. You can understand the impact porn can have, not only on our relationships, but our brain and our spiritual life. If you found this useful, please subscribe or like the video or share it with someone that might find it useful. Thank you again for tuning in, and until next time.